people have this reoccurring nightmare that there's something, some force that's got a hold of them and it's holding them down and they can't break free. No matter what they do, they can't break free from that force. Well, I'm here to tell you that that thing in your nightmare, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you.
There are two fundamental attitudes toward life and its sorrows. Those with the first attitude blame the world. Those with the second ask what they could do differently. It's much easier and much more gratifying to your basest desires to blame someone else for your misery.
You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. That's the problem with some of you. You always want to blame other people. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on front. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more dessert. No, don't get out now. You need to tell you that you owe you something. Every day I demand more from myself than anybody else could humanly expect. I'm not competing with somebody else, I'm competing with one people.
My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You gotta be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
I value myself enough to give 120%. Well, don't do it. There is no excuse for not living up to the fullest potential. No excuse. You walk out of this room, you owe yourself. I didn't get here making excuses. What changed? I changed. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying, I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said, I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power every single day to become a victor and not a victim. Why? Because I owe it to myself. Ain't nobody stop me from you.
How many of you can honestly look yourself in the mirror and say, I am doing my best? Because if you can, you're fucking lying to yourself. Your job right now and how you execute that job is going to create the success habits that you're going to need down the road. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If it's making fries, if you ain't making the best motherfucking fries every fucking time, guess what? You ain't gonna fucking make it. If you can't sweep the warehouse floor better than the next guy, you ain't gonna fucking make it. Because here's the truth. Losers always talk about how they hate to lose, but they don't do anything about it. But you know what winners do? Winners will do whatever the fuck it takes. Winners will show up and stay late every fucking day until they're winning. Winners will talk to anybody they can that can help them and take the lessons to heart and put them in play. That's what winners do. Losers talk about hating to lose. Losers say they hate to lose. Losers talk about how they want to win. Winners do what the fuck it takes. And that means beating the next guy. If you aren't going to work at your job every day and looking at all the other motherfuckers and thinking, dude, I'm going to beat the shit out of all of you, you don't have what it takes. Winners want to be the best. Winners have pride in being the best. Winners have pride in being dominant amongst their teammates.
All men are created equal. Some just work hard. You want to know what it takes to succeed as bad as you want to breathe. It's what goes on when the cameras go on. Work, determination, and grit. You will not outwork me. I will get up earlier than you. I will go to sleep later than you. I will put in more hours than you. I will read more than you. I will go. I will do whatever it takes. I do things that separate myself from everybody. The passion that I have when I speak. The grind that I have when I do what I do. What are you going to do to separate yourself? If you ain't got a whole heart than me, if you ain't been working harder than me, if you ain't sacrificed more than me, I'm going to destroy you. And I'm not retreating. I'm not running. I don't care what they say on paper. I don't care how many games you won. We live by this and we die by this. We don't retreat. People, it's giving sweats. It's giving blood. having kids, you want what they paid for. Free. It has everything to do with what time you wake up. It has everything to do with how you eat. It has everything to do with how you work out, how you prepare. It has every single thing to do with how you think. And when you want it as bad as you want to breathe says, I'm willing to make any sacrifice. I'm willing to go through any pain. I'm willing to go through any suffering. I'm willing to go through whatever it takes. So when I get in there and it's me and him one-on-one, then I guarantee you at the end of it, I won't be the one that surrenders. And if you're going to be the best, the cream of the crop, if you're going to be the apex, you got to be it. It has to consume you. You got to learn how not to give up or how not to give in. You got to embrace it. You got to pull it out. You got to calm your mouth. You got to cry. You got you. But whatever you do, you cannot give up. You cannot give in. Nobody ever said it would be easy. No. This is what you need. And you got champion, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to be a champion. Everybody wants to hold up the trophy and say, man, I did it, but nobody's willing to put in the work that it takes to do it. I love the process. I love the thought of working for what I want. And I firmly believe you're never supposed to wish for it more than you're willing to work for it. But a lot of people, they wish, and they're not willing to work.
A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work. He loves the process. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the fight. And some of y'all just want to score. You don't like the process.
Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, in the labs, the 5 a.m. runs, and those training, and everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won.
I'm here today. I'm an ordinary person, but I focused on my craft and burning desire to be excellent. I love what I do. It's my oxygen. It's my DNA. 4 a.m, I get up and I'm working in my craft because I love it.
It's the hidden work. I look at it as like a rock, and that rock is you. And every day you fight, not wanting to get up, and you do anyway. You chip another piece off that fucking rock. And every day you go to train, you train harder and harder and harder and harder, and you get up early, and all these things you do to start forming yourself. You're chipping another piece of that rock up. Before you know it, that rock, it becomes the masterpiece in which you fucking created.
The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on. Someone's watching. It's constant. It's how you look at something. Your name's attached to it. And you do it right. The best of your ability every single time. Job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day. Same mother.
It's what I did in the dark that blew me up. It isn't practicing. It isn't lifting weights. It isn't resting. It isn't eating right. It isn't making good decisions that you look a certain way. It is how you practice. It is what you do that makes you look like you look. It is the process of the body that shapes you, informs you. The real God is in the dark when nobody sees you, when nobody knows what you're doing, when you put in extra reps, when you're watching those videos and you get inspired, when you change your music. It's the process that makes you sweet. I'm talking about the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left. You gotta begin with the end in mind. So whatever your dream or your goal is, you gotta wake up every day to it. You gotta go to bed with it. You gotta read stuff. The music you listen to, everything you do, you gotta pour into that dream. I understand it is in a process that you get better. Phenomenally skilled, but I'm phenomenally will. My IQ may never change, but my will changes every year. I get stronger and more determined. Why? Because it's in my DNA. Dedicate your life. You don't care anything about the odds. When the dream is big enough, the odds don't matter.
Giving your all, it can be confusing to mediocre people.
When they talk shit, work hard in silence and let your success speak for you.
You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. Instead of killing them with kindness, force you with his success.
Build the kind of life that says, I told you so, without having to say a fucking word.
While most people stop when they're tired, I stop when I'm done. The only thing limiting your horizons is you.